All right, hi everyone. We're back for the crude oil report starting in about 3.5 minutes. All right, you guys are back in. Good, good, good. You hear the audio, right? The mic was muted just for a second. All right, so we got the Spotlight Master Suite charts on the bottom right, 8-tick momentum bar. Got the crude oil chart, 377 tick that is, with counterpunch on the lower left, and of course, unleaded gas on the upper left. We're going to wait our 2 minutes after the report comes out like we always do. Thank you, John. After 2 minutes, we'll start looking for trades. Next week will be a little weird because it'll be on the 17th, and we'll have to check volume to see which contract we trade. So it'll be right during the rollover process going from the September contract to the October contract. X is the symbol. Is it X? Gosh, now I don't remember. Or is it V? I have to look at my cheat notes. I usually know these things. I think X is actually November. I believe it's V. Just double check really quick. The handy dandy cheat sheet. October, V. V is in victory. We're going to have a victorious October. So we'll double check that. Keep an eye on the rollover. Should be a little awkward because it'll be split volume on those that are still on September and those that are already moved over to October. So definitely will be different. Crude oil still below 90. 90, hopefully support became resistance, came up and tested 90. Now it's back below it again. We're all praying for it to keep going lower, obviously. As traders, we don't care. As those who like to drive cars from one place to another, we care. All right, there's the report coming out. Looks like my clock's a couple seconds, I don't know, might be a couple seconds off, but you could see it. You could see the reaction. You could really see it on the 377 tick chart with those long bars up and down. Not quite the splat of bars on the momentum bar chart that we saw last week, but it's moving pretty quickly. Up and down, up and down, up and down. A lot can happen in the next 90 seconds. All right, we got a minute to go. So there's a possible get in sync trade here. Long trade. Let's see, that was at 41. Got to 41. All right, now it's a possible short trade. So the long trade canceled. So there's a short at 88.24. 88.24. Stop is at 88.43. Now that's over. Now we have a long trade, 88.43. Long, if it comes back down, 88.43. It may not. And it went too fast. So that's flat now. Make sure you have no trades pending. Everything's canceled. We'll wait for another setup. That would have been a nice one to get into. You got about 5 seconds or less to place that trade. I just don't see that happening. You do have a long trade on the 377 tick chart. We all know that that chart has really changed. It's a huge trade, too. Crude oil is down nearly 2%. There's a short heads up, 88.64. And again, too fast. I can't even get the words out of my mouth. And it's, unless you're chart trading, you click right on it. It's possible you can do that. If that happened to you, let me know. You'd be finished. You'd be one and done. There's another short heads up. This time at 88.57. I would go down to 54 at this point since it already triggered in. 64. 88.64 if it comes back down. And it stopped out anyway, so let's cancel that one. Sometimes trades that go too fast is a good thing. Still trying to catch a trade here. Definitely a fast-moving market at this point and hard to trade. We'll just wait. All right, there's a short. We're going to adjust below let's see, 89.18. 89.18. That's the entry. If it comes back down, nope, it stopped out again. We're lucky on these shorts. This market wants to go higher. There's a long trade. That's at 89.41. That's a tough one, 89.41. The markets are still going really fast. And that one's going to cancel. In fact, now we're going to look at a short at 89.24. We can grab it, 89.24. And that's going to be targeting. All right, we're in it. The stop's at 89.47. And it already went through and hit its targets, guys, faster than I can say it. Move your stops to break even. Hopefully you guys had that trade in place. Very difficult. You saw how fast that went. This is where you have to have a template with your targets at an average distance, and hopefully you're hitting those targets even if you can't move them to the right location. I mean, that's your one and done, guys. I am definitely not into another trade here. When the trade plan did its job, we were able to get into the trade. It was getting out of the trade was tricky. Let me know how you guys did. Did you guys grab that? I got in. I had to mark it out because I couldn't get my targets moved fast enough on just the way I have it set up on a different monitor. And of course, calling the trade room and trying to do this at the same time while trading is kind of foolish. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. It's just what I've been doing for a very long time. Could not get my targets moved fast enough. So once I saw it hit those targets, I'm hitting the market out button, and it is what it is. Where's oil going now? I don't know. Nobody knows. All we have are trade setups. Nobody knows where any market is going ever. Everyone takes their best guess. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong, but that's not really what you base trades on. Trades are based on trade plan rules that are tested and proven that you can win most of the time. And that's what this session is. So for us, there were a lot of setups here that were both up and down that went too fast. So the only one we were able to grab was this green one, because there was enough time to place that trade, and it even came back up and hit the entry a couple times after it triggered in, get filled, and then it just plummets down through both targets 1 and 2. And if you can't get those targets placed in time, you really should be trading with a template that has fixed targets that you then move to the right location. And the fixed targets should be set at a reasonable distance that are in the proximity of where these targets typically fall. So 20 ticks is probably a good target 2. Maybe 15 ticks is a good target 1, somewhere like that. And then even if you don't get the targets moved to the exact location, they're still getting hit and it's still profitable. Then you got to quickly move your stop down or mark it out, because it did go really fast. But it was a winner. It's just a fast market. The next trade would have been really fast also. Maybe tradable. It was a break-even trade. And then the next trade, 2 seconds and you're already below the entry. There's just no way to trade it. Even though it looks like a nice big winner, it's not. It's a non-trade because it's not tradable. It's just the way the market is. So anime editor, it's not our job to guess which direction the market's going to go, because that's all that is. It's a guess. Might as well put your money on the craps tables. Nobody knows. Nobody knows the future. Nobody will ever know. That's not what trading is. So we can't control what the market will do, but what we can do is control the price patterns that we choose to trade. We could prove it to ourselves that if this pattern occurs, the likely outcome is tradable, because there's a higher percentage that a certain thing will happen versus another thing. And there's certainly no guarantee. So we go with our trade plan that we've been doing for a very long time, because it wins most of the time. And instead of questioning why the light turns on when you flip the switch on or off, instead you just enjoy the benefit of the light coming on when you flip the switch, right? So you see a trade set up. If you're confident, you have the belief in the trade plan, which is a series of steps that every trader needs to go through in order to acquire that level of belief and confidence. That's one of the things we teach. In fact, that's what my whole trade plan hacking framework is all about in the Trade Plan Hacking Live event coming up next week. It's all about that. But the idea is your trade plan becomes your trading business. You prove it's going to make you money over time, and then you learn how to execute it. And instead of thinking or wondering what's going to happen next, you just follow the rules of your plan. Just makes everything simple. It's also how you make money as a trader. That is the formula. There are those who are just savants. There exists some unicorns out there that don't need to do that. They just know instinctively what's going to happen. But that's not most people. Those people are rare, far and few between. And then it's also questionable, are they really a unicorn? Are they really a savant? Or are they just on a winning streak and lucky? And Lady Luck is a schizophrenic, double-edged sword. Swings both ways. That's, in my opinion, not a way to trade either. Anyway, so there's my take, Anime. Thanks for the great question, because you opened up the cage so the parrot can fly out and echo the things I've been saying for years and years. So I appreciate that. And I could see that you are understanding what I said. So good. That's good, good, good. All right. So that's it, guys. That's a take. That's a wrap. I don't know if you guys were able to grab that green trade or not. I don't know what you guys ended up taking. You could see the beautiful action, reaction, subsequent action. But that's not our trade plan rules, but it's nice to see how it works. You have the action move down, the reaction up into our line. It overshot the blue line a little, but you had the yellow line right near there containing the reaction, which is like 1/3. You want it to be around 1/3 to 2/3 of the action move, setting up a subsequent action move that mirrored the first action move. So that's interesting. Always great to see that in play. And that maybe that yellow trade is tradable. I don't know. But it's not. It looks like it might have been. I wasn't watching carefully to see if you had a chance to grab the entry right there. Look how close it came to being an exact replica of the prior action move. It's uncanny how that works. But that's also not this trade plan. This trade plan was taking the first tradable trade after our 2-minute wait. There were a bunch of trades that set up and it was just moving so fast it was untradeable. This one we had several bars to get in. So it set up at 10:35 and 13 seconds. And by 10:35 and 31 seconds, even after that, it came up and hit the entry. So plenty of time to get in. The hard part was getting out because it literally flew down in like 1 second. So if you don't have your template in place and if you're not trading with bracket orders, first of all, stop trading until you figure that out, because that's a huge mistake. You always trade with bracket orders, OCOs, stops and targets. You have a template. You could put those handles at a place that's reasonable so that you don't have to move them very far to put them at the exact location, which shows up in the data window. And if you can't, at least you have them there and they would have been hit, hopefully, and still a profitable trade. So anyway, you all saw what happened. I don't have to repeat it again. Anime, you're welcome to continue joining us. I love working with beginners. And the reason why, because beginning traders can learn things the correct way the first time. So you have a real opportunity. It's a big advantage over a lot of the old dogs. And, I say that with affection because I'm one of them, who learn things the wrong way and then have all these bad habits that are hard to break. So you actually are at a big advantage just starting out, so long as you learn things the right way. So that's what I would encourage you to focus on. Don't be in a hurry to jump in and just start trading. You're better off learning what it takes to succeed as a trader. And I'll tell you what, it's not whether a trade wins or loses, and it's not whether you guess the direction of the market. The way you're going to win as a trader is by proving a trade plan that you can run like a business, and then 2 years from now, you've grown it to the point where you're at such a size with your position and your account that you've achieved the Backpacktrader freedom lifestyle, trading less and living better, using leverage and power compounding. I mean, that's truly where the success comes from as a trader. So those are like some big nuggets for you. You may want to join us on the session coming up next week, Trade Plan Hacking Live. If you want to send me an email, troy@gmail.com, I can send you the replay of the session we just did on Saturday, and you could register if you'd like for the one coming up next week. That goes for any one of you who are interested in that. Anyway, guys, that's a wrap. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the session. Please hit the like button. I always appreciate that. Don't forget, John will be with you guys tomorrow. John, I don't know if you put the session back up there. I know I deleted it accidentally. Heads up there. And everyone have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.